Words appear. Whose blind life is it anyway? In association with Sterling Creations and VIP Tech Productions present Ask Donna. Donna Jodhan answers your questions and offers you tips and tricks on being an author, an expert, a sight loss coach, and an advocate. Ask Donna, the expert.
Greetings, everybody, and it's Donna from the Ask Donna show, my weekly show. I produce 4 weekly shows per month, and I'm always so happy when I get to wear a different hat every week. For the first week of the month, I wear the advocacy hat. For the second week, I wear the author's hat. And for the third week, I wear the coach's hat. For this week, I'm wearing the expert's hat. And I will clarify this or say that it's a so-called expert hat. Okay? And I reach out and thank my good friend Victor Guvia for giving me this opportunity to be on this show. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying your feedback, and I want to thank everyone for having taken the time to send me feedback and suggestions. I'm really, really enjoying myself. I hope that you are as well. Okay, it's time for me to wear my so-called expert hat. So, for this week, I want to talk about what are some of the easiest types of social events. That is, what are some of the most accessible types of social events? I think that some of these events could be classified as easy to access for those who are blind and vision impaired. Let's start with social events at restaurants with appropriate social distancing. I think that it gives those who are blind and vision impaired the opportunity to have face-to-face get-togethers in small gatherings with their friends and family. I think that face-to-face events are so very important. And I think that doing this at a restaurant with appropriate social distancing at tables and between tables is probably one of the most accessible types of social events. Okay? How about those small gatherings to play board games and play cards? Yeah, it's another way to have fun, again with appropriate social distancing and hand sanitizing. I forgot to mention that hand sanitizing, is also very important at the restaurant. But, getting together to play cards and have some board games, have fun, laughter, smiles, reach out to each other, find out what's been going on in each other's lives, listen to each other, share with each other. I think this is another way for a very accessible type of social event. How about a hiking outing? Again, with appropriate social distancing, a hiking event outdoors can be most refreshing. Social distancing takes place. You can talk to each other, not from afar, but not too close to each other. You can enjoy the fresh air all at the same time. You can have a number of friends and family on a hiking event. I think these 3 events at a restaurant, playing cards or playing board games at get-togethers, and hiking, I think that these are 3 types of different events that are very accessible and easy to access for those who are blind and vision impaired. I'd like to hear what you think, okay? Now, I'm going to promote my free monthly newsletter. It's called the Blind Lifestyle Newsletter. And you can subscribe for free to my monthly newsletter at www.donnajodhan.com/subscribe. In this newsletter, here's what you'll find. News on technology, but also a plethora of news on different types of tips. You'd be amazed to hear and read what my newsletter contains. Not just technology, but also tips on all kinds of things. How to keep food safe, how to keep food fresh, how to keep your kitchen clean in so many different ways. Your pots and your pans, your dishes. My goodness, a bunch of tips to keep you going for the month. It's like packing your backpack with a bunch of tips. Pack the backpack to the brim and off you go. So it's called the Blind Lifestyle Newsletter. And you can read more by visiting www.donnajodhan.com/TBLN. Okay? And we'll repeat that one more time. www.donnajodhan.com/TBLN. And Donna Jodhan is spelled DONNAJODHAN. All right. If you'd like to read more about my tips as an expert, or a so-called expert as I say it, you can go to www.sterlingcreations.ca/askanexpert.html. Again, www.sterlingcreations.ca/askanexpert.html. And Sterling Creations is spelled STERLINGCreations. Alright? Good. Are you ready for my mental stretch this week? Help you to get the cricks out of your back. Help you to stretch every part of your body. It's not a physical stretch, it's called a mental stretch. Yeah. And we're going to use one of our senses this week to get involved in our mental stretch. And it's all about the sense of touch. The sense of touch, yes indeed. The sense of touch is what we're going to use this week to get involved in our mental stretch. What does our mental stretch really do? It helps us to clarify our mental capabilities. It helps us to increase our mental psyche, to circulate more with regard to our imaginations and our creative juices. It's all about clarifying, comforting, making sure that our mental psyche is ready for the day. Trust me when I tell you that this works. I've been using this for many years now. Each day I use a different sense in order to ensure that my mental psyche is ready to go, ready, refreshed, and raring to go. For this week, we're going to use the sense of touch. All right. How about trying to use, or not trying, but using your sense of touch to touch the piano keys if you have a piano? What does this really do? You touch the keys, yeah. You feel the keys, yes. But when you touch your keys, it also triggers off the sound of music. So it triggers off a second sense. It triggers off the sound of notes, melodious notes. Just think about it. Touch your piano keys and think of a favorite song that you can listen to. Use your sense of touch of the piano keys to trigger your second sense. And when you hear your favorite music, then you know that your mental stretch is well on the way. Or how about this? Guitar strings. Touch your guitar strings if you have a guitar. Let your fingers roam up and down these strings. Think of the sound of guitar music again. The sense of touch is helping you to trigger the sense of sound, the sense of music. The sound, not the sense of music, but the sound of music. Touching your guitar strings certainly does that. Or, how about touching a blooming flower? A flower that is half opened. Yeah, the petals are nice and soft. The inside of the flower is very tender, very soft, and you have to be very careful when you touch this, because you know that when you touch this, if you touch it too hard, you're going to destroy the flower. So go gently, gently, gently. Touch the petals. Touch the inside. And you know what? This is going to trigger off your sense of smell, because then you're going to think of fragrances for your flowers. So you see, what my mental stretch is doing is you use one sense to start with, and this sense triggers off a second sense, which triggers off sparking your imagination and stimulating your creative juices. It's all about S and S, sparking and stimulating. Have you got the pictures yet? The sense of touch. Yes, indeed, the sense of touch, touching and feeling. And when you do that, you can trigger off other senses, the sense of smell, the sense of, sound, sense of smell, sense of hearing, even maybe the sense of taste. And I'll get to that in a future show. Right, we're at the end of our time here, and I thank you for having come in to listen to me, and I hope you enjoyed what I've said today. Please send me an email at askdonnaonblindlife@gmail.com. Again, Ask Donna on blindlife@gmail.com. And thank you to my dear friend Victor Guvia, my friend, my mentor, my associate, and he even helps to spark my imagination and stimulate my creative juices. Thank you everyone for coming in today, and I wish you a great day, and a great rest of the week. Take care now, and I will see you next week. Bye now.
Tune in every Wednesday mornings at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 a.m. Pacific for Ask Donna on Whose Blind Life Is It Anyway?